Good morning everybody, and welcome back to another video blog from here at Effingham Golf Club on this rather sunny middle of October, towards the end of October morning. Haven't done a video for a while. Greenkeeping can get very repetitive, and at risk of repeating myself, I thought I'd give you a break. But what have we done? Well, we've been through a drought, as we're all aware of. It's been a cracking summer. Actually, in fact, the whole year's been fairly dry. It was a very kind winter last year. Sorry, at the beginning of the year. And then we've been into this drought. We're about a third of the rainfall we get up on the hill to date. Whether that picks up, we had some good showers yesterday, but it's got a lot of, we need a lot of rain to get back to our average. The drought has been very good for us in a way. Being up on the chalk, we handle droughts probably better than some golf courses do. The chalk holds a lot of water. A lot of our grass, the roots are down into the chalk, and they actually get a supply of water through the summer anyway. Hence how we bounce back so quickly with that 30 mil of rain we had in August. We were back green and looking fantastic, of course. A lot of work has also been in hand with that on the fairways. We've done this work with ALS contractors, the coring and the scarifying. That's really helped the fairways as well. Getting that thatch layer out so the roots aren't growing in the thatch so much, they're down into the soil. That's been a great help for us. I can assure you, those of you who had great lawns last year and they're looking dreadful at this moment in time, it will probably be thatch. I almost guarantee you it's going to be thatchy lawns you've got, and you've got to get rid of that thatch and get that grass growing back into the soil, get the roots down, and your lawn become a lot more robust. No different to the fairways. Droughts are difficult to handle. But we've done it fairly well this year. The irrigation system has worked well again. It's worked very hard, of course, but we've got a few little weak areas we know about it, which we're going to try and address this winter. So on the tees especially, we just need to redesign some of the pop-up so we're getting better coverage. The reservoir, we know there's a lot of management. There's a lot of meetings about how do we handle our water. And I think we did it fairly well. We learn every year how we can do things a little bit better, of course. And we're in a good place at the moment. Steve and Tony and myself had a lot of discussions how to handle the water and manage it so we didn't run out, but we've got through that. The reason we can handle, we're so good with it is because we moisture read the greens pretty much in a drought, once a week, at least twice a week. We're looking for those dry spots. We're keeping the water at its bare minimum we need. We're holding the greens between 15 and 20% on average. High spotting, of course. But I've also got the tool. I've been using the drone a lot this summer as well. I can stick the drone up. I can take an aerial shot of every green within about 11 minutes. I can fly it around the golf course, get back, have a look at those, and you know, from 20 meters up, the green looks completely different than it does at eye level, and you can start seeing any problem areas coming, any weak areas. So that's worked very well. It's the products we use as well. That's very important. We've been using products from Aquatrol, just lately, and they've proved really good for us. It's about the only year we can really see our products have worked for you, because you're in full control of it with no rainfall interrupting. So yeah, we will stay with them next year. I'm quite pleased with the quality of their products. Sand as well, we're up to about 185 tons now, which was good lot. That's about as much as we can get on our greens throughout the season without putting too much sand saturation on. A little bit of rethinking now how we're coring, how we're solid tying, and we adjust that really each year as the greens are getting sandier and sandier on top. Now we're changing the composition of the green, so different products we need to use now as we're getting sandier, different ways we manage the greens. So that's all coming together quite nicely. They're getting a bit more consistent now, and we're starting to get longer season out the greens. Getting hit with disease now, of course, very difficult to control disease. We're mainly POA. We're desperately trying to get more bent into our greens. It's a slow, long process, but we are starting to see a slight gain in the bent in the sward. The bent fights disease a lot better, of course, than the POA. The POA is one of the worst grasses you can have on a green, and the majority of golf courses have got them. But with the loss of chemicals and they're not being so effective, it's going to be very difficult to control this disease now. So we're going to have to start thinking of more cultural methods of doing it. Companies out there are working very hard to try and find greener products that try and help it, but at the moment we're in a very difficult position. We're trying to control disease and pests and bugs. We've talked about that before. The winter program's coming into its own now. We're starting to lift branches, get the droopy branches up in the air. It looks better aesthetically, the course looks better. We can get machines under there course. So we've been doing that for about 3 weeks. We put in drain holes in some of the greens. You'll see that down the 17th. This has proved very successful with us in the past of trying to drain some tricky areas around on some of the greens. So because we're on the chalk, we benefit from that. All we need to do is get a sump down into that chalk and then things greatly improve. On the 4th, we did it a few years ago, very successful on the 4th, and the 14th we did it. So we've got a few other little soft areas appear on the greens in the winter. And so we take cap out, you can see it happening there. We drill down to about 3-4 foot or till we can hit the chalk, backfill it with stone, make good, and then we put the cap back in, and then that will grow back in. It's like changing a hole really. That disappears in about a week, that scar. And the deal is we're just putting direct drains into the chalk. Like I said, time we've done a little bit of coring on top, a little bit of aeration, we can dry these areas out fairly quickly and successfully. So that could be ongoing. We're going to be doing woodland management starting probably the 1st of November. We've got the ash dieback still to deal with. We've done very well with it in the past, but it's time to try and get it all done now. With the trees we've got left, we can do in-house near enough. And so you're going to be seeing Gary and the guys out with the chainsaw chopping these dangerous ash we have left. We've also got some other trees we need to take down. This is sticking to the air and light situation. We need to keep the air movement go around the course and the light on the playing surfaces. So there's some other trees as well. And it's just good woodland management. We've got trees which are dying, trees which are struggling. So there's going to be a bit of woodland management going in up to Christmas. And then we've got some paths to do and some other little jobs. So we're going to try and do the 18th path, make that better. The 12th path, improve that experience around there. And the 14th path, that next to the 14th men's tees, that needs dealing with now. So we're going to be kept quite busy. Leaves coming down, of course, that's the next 2 months worth of work, of course, for us on average. We've got some good machinery to deal with that, so the boys are pretty efficient at clearing those up. So that'll take us up till Christmas at least, and we're still in growing condition, so we're not getting away from the mowers. I haven't been put to bed yet. Fairways still growing fairly strong, tees, approaches. So anything like last year, we were still mowing quite hard even up till Christmas. So we'll see what that brings us this year. Before I start rambling on, I think we've had a very successful year with the greens and everything else, and it's about keeping it going, trying to get a prolonged winter, keep the greens good in the winter. We will bring the height of cuts up, of course. We need to try and protect these greens. We said we can't fight the disease off very well now with chemicals, so we need cultural methods of doing it. But as long as the weather stays with us, as it is at the moment, we should have a fairly good winter. And then going into, we'll see what 2023 brings us. All a bit of a gamble at the moment. But take care, enjoy your golf, and I'll speak to you soon.